This is News 8 at 11 in HD.
The Penn State scandal is the top story this Wednesday night. Today began with the surprise announcement from Joe Paterno that he would step down at the end of the season. But 1 hour ago, that changed in a big way.
The Board of Trustees fired Paterno effective immediately. He won't coach another game for Penn State. And after 16 years, President Graham Spanier is out as well.
Both casualties of the charges that former coach Jerry Sandusky sexually abused several young boys. Pat Principe and Mike Straub are live from Beaver Stadium in State College. And Pat, tonight's action, I think it's fair to say, is devastating to Coach Paterno and a lot of fans.
Without a doubt, Janelle. I can honestly say I'm not totally surprised at the action the board took tonight. Joe Paterno sort of kind of fired a shot across their bow today when he sort of took it upon himself to resign, trying to go out on his own terms. Mike Straub was there when the Board of Trustees made the momentous decision, and I got to figure the atmosphere in that room had to be something unlike we've ever seen, right?
A few students made their way into the room, but mostly media members. The board was behind the spokespeople for the board, the leaders of the board, and they knew they just said they had to make a decisive action, and they made it tonight.
The Board of Trustees and Graham Spanier have decided that effective immediately, Dr. Spanier is no longer president of the university. In addition, Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately. Penn State has always strived for honesty, integrity, and the highest moral standards in all of our activities. We promise you that we are committed to restoring public trust to our university.
As John Surma speaking on behalf of the board, he then took a lot of very hard questions, answered what he could about why they made this decision, and he kept going back to that point, Pat, that they had to bring it back to public trust, and they felt like after what had happened, the accusations that are out there against Jerry Sandusky and against how it was handled by this football program, they had to make this move right now.
Yeah, it was handled badly all the way around from the top, Graham Spanier, to Joe Paterno, and they both are paying for it tonight by losing their jobs. And of course, the real victims here, as we have pointed out all along, are the children who were abused in this. Joe Paterno and Graham Spanier are kind of collateral damage, if you will, to what is a more damaging point. We do have this comment from Joe Paterno tonight from the Associated Press upon hearing he was relieved of his duties. He said, in quote, "I'm not the head football coach of Penn State anymore. That will take something getting used to." Earlier today, Joe Paterno leaving his home to go meet with his team to go inform them of his decision that he was going to retire at the end of the football season. At that point in time, the team thought that Joe Paterno was still going to be coaching them on Saturday and through the final two games and then a bowl game. And at practice today, Joe Paterno was actually on the field at practice today with the team. We got some reaction from players when they first heard the news about Joe stepping down.
You know, it was definitely sad today to see our coach, have had to step down like that, but we have to stay together as a team and just use this as extra motivation for Nebraska.
It was very emotional. A lot of tears were shed, coaches, players, and from Joe himself. But at the same time, he told us to stay focused on the task at hand, which is to beat Nebraska. And, he's doing what he thinks is best for the university and is best for him and his family.
Matt McGloin and a couple of other Penn State football players, Derek Moy among them, paying a visit to Paternoville tonight. The final act for Paternoville. Actually, we thought it was going to end prior to the game Saturday. Well, it's ending now, and as you look behind us now, Paternoville really quiet, and it's not usually like that.
No, you saw it earlier tonight. It was, what you'd expect, college kids having a good time, camping out, but yeah.